Hi everyone, it's Simon Burns here from Spiritual Marketing Club and Stress Coach Training. So today I wanted to do just a one card reading for my Spiritual Marketing Club newsletter. But actually, when the card came out, it was actually a video. It was related to a video that I did yesterday that I've just not actually had a time to load up and put out there. But this card, which is I'm just going to put with my glasses, the Age of Light. Okay, you've been training for this for lifetimes, and to me, this is a reminder. Okay, I'm just going to put the card right up. This is a reminder to all fellow light workers, spiritual entrepreneurs, spiritual business owners, and even I have students that are new into therapies, and some of them are coaches, is that you may not realise it, but we all are here with a greater purpose than we actually think. And we're at a point in history and in human evolution where we have never been as needed, and we are in many ways required or asked to own our sovereignty and own our gifts and to step up and do what we're here to do, basically. Okay, now a lot of yous in the Spiritual Marketing Club, I'll be more awakened and yous more aware of what's going on in the world at the moment, and in the light and the shadow aspect, in many ways like a spiritual war that's going on. And the way that there is a lot of the shadow coming out, even for those who don't see it, there is a lot of things that's coming out, but as that is unraveling, we are getting censored. So for those of you who maybe are new to you're some awakened or just in the early stages of your awakening or into the healing and spiritual industry, there's so much going on that we maybe not seeing the surface. We know there's some things going on when they don't feel right and things don't add up. We're seeing a lot of censorship in social media. We're also seeing a lot of censorship on mainstream media that is trying to stop people see what's going on around the world. And even with a lot of us know with the pandemic, this has been a big pivotal point for humanity. In many ways, it's trying to wake humanity up to the darkest elements of the shadow and power and control, and help us see the two dimensions that is going on and the polarity that's going on. And yes, there's a lot of people that are still not seeing things. And some of us are more lucky than others because we have strong intuition, we're maybe strongly empathic, we maybe have psychic gifts, we also are in communities and we're in groups or we're on platforms where we can see this information, but it's not always been visible in other platforms like mainstream, like Facebook and YouTube and Google. Obviously a lot of these things were getting banned. But the reality is, no matter what you think or believe is going on or is not going on, it is time for you to step up and own those gifts, right? And this is the Age of Light, okay? We're entering into this huge, I'm not even saying portal, but we're huge opportunity to awaken humanity, to awaken ourselves, and to really step in and own our light and use gifts that we can't even imagine. We've got so many gifts, and sometimes those gifts are still revealing themselves and they're still coming through. I had an experience yesterday where I got so much, it was like a Turing energy was connecting with me, and it was very, very powerful. And I felt that the last few days there has been a lot going on, but at a new level that we were getting. I mean, we're constantly at the moment being expanded and moving on, but it was a real strong. I got another kind of message in the guidance about us really bringing our light warrior aspect in, okay? And even those of us who do not view themselves as a light warrior, we've always maybe viewed ourselves. I mean, I used to think, I didn't use the light worker term because I often found that sometimes in the spiritual community, the light worker term was very much as in them, as if, and light workers come in all forms, shapes and forms. It's not just to do with healers. There's lawyers that are light workers. There's, people in all sorts of jobs that are light workers. We just don't always see that. But so sometimes the way the term is used, it's sometimes it's very, how could you say, I don't even think this is the right word, but kind of disclusive, if that makes sense. But the reality is there is truth seekers at the moment. There is other types of warriors, but mostly there is many people taking in light warrior form in different shapes. But I do believe that no matter how much a light worker and you're here to hold the vibration and the light, there is a lot of us that still need a little bit of the light warrior. And why I'm saying that is because we are facing a situation at the moment where we really need to stand in our power and be open to gifts we've not even seen and we don't recognize within ourselves. Open ourselves up and allow all of our gifts, all of our wisdom, and anything else that we can access to help us step forward and to constantly connect with the highest dimensions and the highest light, so that we can move forward with more strength and clarity. And we only get that clarity when we can step back, get out of our head and detach from the noise, right? And own and be, because we're living in a society that has conditioned us very much to be distracted, to be so much in our head and conditioned by dogma, by the media, by certain narratives that people want to tell us that are rarely anywhere near the truth, okay? And the most important thing we can do is get into our own light, connect with the highest, the highest vibration, the highest light, and start owning your sovereignty, start owning your light, right? As Rebecca Campbell says, that, we've got so much more wisdom, you've got so much more, there is so many things here. You're here for a reason, right? And you have a lot more strengths and gifts, courage, wisdom than you believe that you have. But it does not come from outside. It does not come from outside. It comes from that your spiritual connection, and a true spiritual connection has to get out the way of the ego, and it has to really connect with the soul, with your highest dimension, your higher self, your God self, and that connection with God, that connection with the highest intention for all, okay? And every single one of you are needed at the moment, and every single one of you have a place. And you will not get that courage looking externally. You'll not get that courage immersing yourself in information. You get that courage when you step back and you listen to your inner voice. And that inner voice does not come when you're spending a lot of time consuming information and distracted. It comes when you're still. And that was a great reminder for me, and about when you remove yourself from things and that you go with what you're truly guided to do. And sometimes, yeah, we can get distracted and it's our ego. But the more that you meditate, the more that you take time out, and the more that you get away from that sabotaging mind, or the egoic mind that wants to be constantly right, or wants to be, you know, wants to prove something, the more that you can leave that behind and trust. I do something every morning. I go and I ask for the strength and wisdom to get out my ego, and of course I get caught into my ego every single day. We kind of roll in, but what I do is ask to have that guidance and that purity of what I'm supposed to do, and how am I myself, be guided. What's the best use of my time, and how can I make the most powerful impact and help humanity at the moment? Help with this spiritual evolution. Okay, so this is a great reminder that you are here for a purpose, and no matter what your purpose is, okay, you are a very important part of this large jigsaw. Everyone has a part to play. So step up and own that part. And even if you just step forward, you don't have to, some people think when they step forward, they have to suddenly do everything. One step forward, and that next step, all it takes each day, you just take another step, and you just watch for that guidance, and you just do it that way. It's not about just, suddenly diving deep, and, that, the greatest spiritual guidance you can get and wisdom is just taking little steps at a time. Often the little steps can be the most powerful. So don't get caught on your head that you suddenly just have to jump in and do everything. That's not what we mean. But the reality is you are being guided. So if you are guided to share something, you are guided to do something, get out your head. Get out your head, because it's often your head that's stopping you do it. Okay, trust your heart, trust your soul, trust your inner guidance. In many ways, we're very lucky at the moment, because there is such, it's actually in many ways, if you're not caught up in the stress, anxiety and fear, if you've not got caught up in that narrative of the pandemic, it's actually the most powerful time to get so much support, spiritual support and connection, because it's there. It's the veil seems very thin, and the connection is there. There is a lot more connections to all sorts of support that we cannot sometimes fathom or realize is there. So trust, you are being guided, but in many ways this is a spiritual battle, and in many ways I'm going to say the light has won, but you're here for a reason. Come on, take part. Take part. It's such a powerful place to be, and we need you. Okay, bye for now.